and welcome back to 3 Word Interviews. This week we're joined by little Alex Horne.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
No worries, thanks for letting us come along.
Pleasure.
So you're performing tonight at the Theatre Royal, and that is where we're sat right now.
We are. It's not as big as we thought it was going to be, is it?
Yeah, it's a smaller venue.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's a lovely theatre.
It is.
Thank you.
No worries.
For inviting us to the Theatre Royal Brighton.
It's glad to have you. So, as always, we will get to pick 3 words off the board, pop them down here, and then it's your job to slip them into the interview, and it's down to the viewers to guess what they are. For the winner, first person to guess all 3 words, what are they going to win?
They're going to win a fabric poster, also known as a tea towel. It's a Horne section tea towel. I'll sign it if you want.
Yeah, if we could, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll sign it. So it's a fabric poster. It's a poster that you can wash if your poster gets dirty.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes if you sort of spill some brown sauce on the wall, but this one you just chuck it in the wash. So it's, yeah. Do you like it?
I do.
It's a good prize.
I want one of my own.
Well, you can enter the competition. Well, we've talked about that. Right, that's the prize.
So if you're the first, if you think you know what these 3 words are, make sure you comment on the video down below, or head over to our Instagram page where you'll find a picture of Alex and comment on there as well. Okay, so obviously we'll start from the beginning. You grew up quite locally in West Sussex.
Yes.
Went to Lancing College.
Thank you.
Literally just down the road, right?
Yeah, I'm quite embarrassed about that because it's a posh boarding school. But I really enjoyed it, and you know, these things happen.
And then you left us and went to Cambridge.
I did, so it's pretty sort of privileged upbringing.
Yeah. What did you study at Cambridge?
Latin and Greek, classics.
Right.
So all of this isn't great for my street cred, and it's quite embarrassing, and it makes it feel like you've sort of bought your way into the comedy industry. But, you know, you don't have much of a choice about it as a kid, and actually, you know, you can't really blame anyone. I really liked it, and then Cambridge was great.
And then you left in 2001.
Okay.
But you started comedy in 2000.
Yeah, I did.
According to Wikipedia. Anyway.
Yeah, I started probably 1999, I think, but I did the first.
Okay.
I think I did So You Think You're Funny in 1999.
Right.
I think. So I started doing comedy at Cambridge.
Yeah, and then your first main show was in Edinburgh.
Yeah, so that was 2001, was it?
That was 2000, apparently. According to Wikipedia.
Okay, yeah, no, could well have been. Yeah. Yeah.
So at what point did you know that comedy was your thing?
It's funny, isn't it? Because you're answering these questions, but you're also thinking about these words and trying to remember what they were for a start, and seeing if they're in any way relevant to the answer. Well, I don't think I ever, you know, it was never a career path. It was always, I liked making people laugh, and I realised I could around Christmas dinner in 1988, I reckon. You know, when you're with your family, and if there's probably one person who's the funniest person in the family.
Yeah.
And I think I probably was that person, and I enjoyed that. But no one ever said, "Oh, you're really fun." Like, I was never the class clown or anything.
Yeah.
So I think it was a big surprise to anyone who knew me. But I always liked it. So when I went to Cambridge, I did want to at some point go to Footlights, but I didn't know what Footlights was, and I found Footlights. I don't know, on a map or something, but it was actually a Mexican restaurant called Footlights, so that wasn't it. So I went in thinking, this isn't what I was expecting. So eventually found out what that was and got involved gradually because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
So I went to a couple of auditions, but didn't walk past the door a couple of times. And then did that, but as soon as I did that once and it went well, then you're hooked. Because if you make people laugh successfully once, it's hard not to try to do it again.
Yeah.
But then after university, I went to another university. I went to Goldsmiths and did journalism. Journalism? How do you pronounce it?
Journalism. I don't know. Now you've said it, I'm overthinking it.
So I was going to be a journalist, but that never worked out. So yeah, it was always just a hobby that overtook any other plans.
And obviously, it's 20 years ago, so you've done a lot in your time.
Yeah.
Probably most known for Horne Section, playing tonight, and Taskmaster.
Probably most known for Taskmaster, if we're honest.
Yeah.
Although the Horne Section on 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people watch that programme. So a lot of people say, "Oh, you're that bloke from Countdown," which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting genre, that comedy crossover quiz thing. There was meant to be a one-off, and then took off, and is now like the longest running comedy show on Channel 4 or something like that. So yeah, that too.
Yeah, and you mentioned Channel 4.
Yes.
You're going to Channel 4, aren't you, with
We
Taskmaster?
are, yes. But that shouldn't mean anything's different at all.
No.
Same length of programme, same sensibilities, so it should be exactly the same. It should be a smooth, hopefully, crossover. Although I imagine people won't think so. They'll go, well, it's all different.
Because it's a bake-off situation again, isn't it?
It sort of is, except Bake Off had to be very different because it had to have adverts in, and it was different presenters, for example. So I'm hoping this will be exactly the same.
Yeah, and I mean, because you've been with Dave for, I'd say 9.5 series, because you're Champion of Champions series, kind of half of one.
Yeah, they've been amazing, Dave. So it was a quite heart-wrenching process.
And at what point did you know that it was going to be as popular as it was?
Oh, not at all. It was a very nerve-wracking process because you do one. You're very grateful to get a commission at all.
Yeah,
and that takes a long time. So we pitched it, and then we were told no by a lot of people, including Dave, including Channel 4. And then Dave did pick it up, and then you have to actually make a programme.
Yeah.
And then you record the programme, and that's fraught with problems because it's the first time we've done it. We did it in a nightclub in Clapham, and you do one episode, and you think, oh God, is that all right? Well, we do a pilot actually first of all.
Yeah.
And it wasn't ideal, and wasn't perfect at all. But my little brother came to the first recording and he said, oh, I think this might actually be quite good. So that's when I first thought this could work. But then it goes out, and I remember being so nervous. I was camping in France when it went out, and it got a really good review and a really bad review. Really good review in the Times, a really bad review in the Guardian. Really peculiar review, which slagged it off a lot as being very blokey and macho.
Okay.
I don't think it is really, but anyway, it obviously has got under my skin, that review.
Stayed with you.
Yeah. So then you're thinking, well, I don't know, the jury's out. And also, there's no guarantee of a second series. I think there should always be a guarantee of a second series. But anyway, so then they gave us a second series, then a third, and then I think by the fourth and fifth series, then I thought, oh, we're on to something.
Yeah.
It's only the last year that it felt like it's really got momentum.
Nice. And I mean, obviously, it's led on to, you got books, you got games, you did your meetup in September that was in the book.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people turned up to that.
Yeah, there was a miraculous, it did feel quite biblical. It was a weird turnout because it was just a task in a book which said meet at longitude, latitude, it gave the numbers, at this time on this date for a picnic, and that was it. And yeah, there was 2,000 people there. I thought there were about 200 people.
Yeah.
So that was quite sort of humbling and exciting and weird and exhausting.
Yeah. And is there
loads of words I'm using? Any of these could be the ones.
It could be.
Yeah.
And have you got any info or exclusives on the next series?
Well, I can't tell you who's in it.
Okay.
I can tell you we've got a special new camera. We've got a gizmo which can record the whole way round, the 361.
Nice.
So that's going to be exciting. Have you seen them before?
I've got a 360 camera.
And you can put on VR things and be in that world.
Oh, what, at the same time?
I think so. I don't think we're going to use that function. I can tell you that we're at the Taskmaster house again.
Yeah.
I can tell you that we've got the caravan. I can tell you we have a new thing in the garden.
Right. No,
that's about all I can tell you.
Okay.
I can tell you Greg and I still live in the Taskmaster house, obviously. We're now in bunk beds, so that's exciting.
Nice.
Previously it was a double bed, but he took up most of that. So I've now got, but my one's obviously much smaller. It's like a little cot.
Naturally. So moving on to obviously the Horne section on tour.
Yes.
How's the tour going?
It's been going since January, so I love it. It's the most fun thing I do aside from Taskmaster, which really is fun.
Yeah.
But it's the only live thing I do now because Taskmaster takes up a lot of my time. So it's my live venture, or it's my what's it called when you are addicted to drugs and you get your hit. Yeah, it's my way of getting my live hit is with the band now. So we do about 2 a week, and it's been really fun. But we know the stuff that's in the show so well. So the bits that aren't in the show, there's a lot of improvised elements, and they're getting bigger every night because we're not bored of the scripted stuff, but we have done it so many times. Yeah. So it'll be fun tonight, and we've added a couple of Christmassy bits and bobs, so that's all fun.
Okay. And you've got your podcast with the guys as well, haven't you?
Yeah, but we're a bit like this. It's quite a bulky setup.
Yeah.
So it's like this, but with 5 more people. So the podcast takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A lot of effort and a lot of money, actually. It's not a profit-making thing, but it's really fun to do. And it's so nice when people do say they listen to it. They do it gets under people's skin. I think podcasts in general, any podcast, because it's right in your ears and you're in their zone, in their sphere, I suppose. So it does rewards that way. I think you get loyal fans from it.
Yeah. And what's next for the Horne section?
More the same.
Yeah.
I think we'll be doing it for 30 more years at least. It's the thing I want to be doing when I'm in my 70s, because we've known each other since we were kids.
Yeah.
2 of us anyway, or 3 of us, and the rest we've known for 20 years. So it's just mates having a laugh. So I'd love to think we'd still be on
It's
stage.
a hobby that you're getting paid for, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are 6 of us, so it's not a financially viable thing.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. And I'm not saying we don't get paid. Like, we're doing fine, but it's not the most lucrative. Like, if it was just me out on tour, I'd earn 6 times as much money, as they keep reminding me. So, but it's so much more fun than being by myself.
Yeah.
And much better as well, because they actually have talents. They have multi-talents, some of them.
Yeah. So what's next for Alex Horne?
Well, it's 3 years of Taskmaster. That's the thing with Channel 4, doing 6 more series. So it's for the first time in my life, I've got a 3 years mapped out ahead of me. So I know exactly what I'm doing month by month with Horne section alongside it.
Yeah.
I've written a children's book.
Okay.
But I've only let 3 people read it. Well, 3.5. I've let 2 of my kids read it. That's 1.5, because one of them's halfway through it. The eldest boy didn't really like it.
Right.
The middle one liked it for a bit, but he's got problems with it. The other 2 people have not responded to it at all. So I'm not sure if it might be the worst thing that's ever been written. It's called How Do You Get to Bognor Beach? But I'm hoping it's going to be... I really like it.
Yeah.
I read it and it made me cry, and I wrote it.
Okay.
That's weird, isn't it?
It is.
I knew it was going to happen, but anyway, it's quite a sad book. It's about a stone, and it's about how the stone got to Bognor Beach. It's about a pebble. I almost want to put a different name under it, because you don't want to be one of those comedians who jumps onto that bandwagon, because I think it's bandwagon. Could it be bandwagon?
It's a bandwagon,
But
yeah.
that'd be a big play to then say it is bandwagon. No, I think it's that bandwagon.
Oh.
Bandwagon. Well, how do they do? Do they vote for what word they think it is?
No, they just comment in the underneath.
And when do you reveal what it is?
When someone gets them. So if someone guesses like 3 words and then one of them's right, I'll reply to it saying one of these is right, and then people can.
Oh, it's a very good idea.
Yeah.
And can you get involved?
No, because I'm gonna know what the words are anyway.
But people could be in cahoots with you and then put some sort of bet on.
Yeah, they could, but I wouldn't allow that.
Is there money to be won?
No, but there'll be a prize.
Okay. Is there a prize? Oh, there is a prize. I've got it in my pocket.
Now, people may not know, obviously people know you from Taskmaster on TV, that side, but people may not know that you've been on Countdown as a contestant, won it 3 times, 3 shows.
Yeah.
You've been on The Chase twice as a contestant.
I was on it 4 times, yeah, I lost in the 4th. Yeah, I've been in The Chase twice, lost twice. That's frustrating.
It is.
It's hard.
Who
It's
did you
awful.
beat?
Who did I beat in The Chase?
Yeah, who was the chaser at the time?
I had The Beast, and I had Mrs. Hegarty. Is that her name?
Yeah, she is.
The Duchess or something?
That's the one. Yeah.
And they're both really lovely. So I got through to the final round each time.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of money, like 100 grand, which I then lost. And you feel so awful because that's money that the charity isn't getting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a horrible experience. I mean, it's really fun record and really nice people that run it, but you come out pretty deflated because the Children of Grey almost aren't getting the money that you promised them.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway.
I read online that you spent a year searching London for someone from every nation, but there's 3 you didn't get.
Yeah, so first of all, it had to be someone who lived in London from
Right.
every country in the UN. So there were 192 countries. I think there's more now. And we didn't find anyone from the Marshall Islands, Palau, or Tuvalu. I'm glad I can still remember them, but they're all these Polynesian islands.
Yeah.
Tuvalu, I think, is going to disappear in the next 50 years probably. But we have found somebody since from one of them.
Okay.
But yeah, the search continues, sort of. But that was sort of pre-Twitter, really.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a lot easier now. We literally went out in the streets and went into a Scandinavian restaurant and said, "Hello, can we interview you?" So it was me and my little friend Dinky Donk, and we were trying to write a book. And again, it wasn't a good book. Oh, I think it would have been a brilliant book, but it didn't get picked up at all. And my biggest regret with that was that we had. This is quite topical, what I'm going to say, and weirdly political for me. We were going to have a big party in Trafalgar Square when we found all the people on the last date. It was all booked.
Yeah.
And Ken Livingston was the mayor, and we were going to have a map of the world, and everyone was going to stand on their countries, and it was going to be a beautiful moment showing the cosmopolitan nature of the city.
Yeah.
And then Boris Johnson became mayor and cancelled it all, he was less into immigration.
Right.
So it was a real shame. And the whole sort of project, like, it was just an online thing for fun. It wasn't meant to be a work thing, really. Except, we thought it was an interesting project. But yeah, it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Because of Johnson.
Who, at time of recording, is current Prime Minister.
Yeah, I think he still will be.
You reckon? So this video,
which is fine or not fine, depending on...
This video is going to go at Christmas.
Is it?
So, who knows?
I think he will be.
Well, yeah, massive thanks for coming along. We really appreciate you.
It's a really fun game. It's quite Taskmastery.
Well, if I find it on Taskmaster.
Yeah.
I want royalties. So, tune in next time. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button for all our upcoming interviews, and thanks again to Mr. Horne.
Pleasure. Thank you.